Are you ready to raid? More importantly, Ryan, are you ready to raid?
I'm ready to raid. I'm always ready.
We are going to play Clash of Clans, the epic raid. This is the board game implementation of Clash of Clans. We don't have a prototype here on the table because they're working to perfect this game. It's got a lot of beautiful miniatures, a lot of beautiful components. We don't have a prototype, but what they did do is give us access to their TTS mod, Tabletop Simulator, to show you a couple rounds of how the game plays. We're not going to play an entire game, but we're going to play the first round, and then we're going to play a later round so you can see how it builds.
Yeah, I mean, the game is Clash of Clans. You're going to be raiding a lot. The whole point of the game is to build your village and then defend it as it gets raided while you're raiding your opponents. So it's definitely going to be a game that progresses, and you're going to end up with these giant epic raids. We definitely want you to see at least a little bit about that.
Yeah, you're going to see all that, and you're going to see how it's driven, because it's driven by a worker placement mechanic. And if you're not a board gamer and you're watching this video, you'll see what that means, but you're placing workers out on the board to take all of the actions that you take in this game. So let's get to it. We're going to get to the first round and kind of give you an overview of how that round plays and how the game plays. And then, like I said, show you a later round. And then we'll be back to let you know how it went.
All right, let's jump over to TTS.
And just like that, we are standing in front of our computer monitor on the Tabletop Simulator mod for this game. This is a demo of the game that they've built. And here you can see everything going on set up for a two-player game. We've got the main board, our two-player boards. Let's take a look at one of our player boards so you can see the turn structure. Across the bottom of the player board, you're going to see what happens each round. Each round is going to start with the collect phase, where we get some of the things from some of the parts of our village that are collecting resources. Then we're going to go on to the build actions phase, which is the meat of the game, where we're going to be placing our workers and taking all of our various actions. After everyone's done with that, you're going to score your villages. This is going to be all of the buildings in your village that score points, and not all of them will score points, but you're going to score points from those as long as they're not on fire. And then, of course, you will remove the fire after you score your villages, which is going to be kind of the cycle that you see here. You're really just trying to damage someone else's village so that they don't score points that round. But the fire is then removed during this phase. And then finally, you're going to put discount tokens on all of the buildings, or at least some of them, that were not purchased in the previous round so that they're more attractive for the next round.
Now this is the main board where you're going to be placing workers to take actions, and you're going to see these actions kind of spread out across the top wherever you see a banner. They're kind of divided into these different colors. The green actions are more about building out your village, and the red actions are more about raiding other players. Of course, you do have this upgrade town hall action and the take first player option, which are going to be probably taken often during the game. And one thing that you're going to probably notice here is that we're playing a two-player game. So each one of these action spaces can only be taken once, but in a four-player game, you will have the ability to take some of these actions more than one time.
And at the bottom right-hand corner, you see a yellow banner. This is defenses. This is where you're going to build up various defenses. One thing to note here is no matter whether you're building a cannon, an archer tower, or a wizard tower, you're always also going to get two walls as well.
Right above that, you're going to see the three resources that you can collect: gold, elixir, and gems. Gems is the hardest to get, and it's a wild. All of these are going to kind of be produced by specific buildings you put into your village.
So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the game so you can see how it plays. We're going to get right into the collect phase in the first round. Everyone's going to start with a village with a town hall, a gold collector, and an elixir collector. This is where you're just going to look at everything in your village, and I'm going to get 1 gold and 1 elixir, as will Ryan. And now we move on to the builder actions phase. This is where we're going to take one of our 3 workers at the beginning and take that builder and put them out on one of the spaces to take an action. As you can see, the buildings and units that are available, the buildings are going to cost gold, whereas the units are going to cost elixir. We've got a balloon here that costs 3, and a giant that costs 5 elixir. We're far from getting those. We've got the standard collectors, the gold and the elixir, that each cost 1, so we could grab those. And then the army camp and the gold statue, which cost a little more. The gold statue might be within someone's reach potentially. But I'm actually going to start by building up some defenses. So I'm going to put one of my builders right here and take this defensive action. I'm going to get 2 walls and 1 of these. Now, I only have 1 gold, so I can only afford either a cannon or an archer tower. So I'm going to go ahead and get the archer tower for 1 gold and 2 walls. So I've collected my archer tower and the 2 walls. Again, these components are absolutely placeholder in this TTS mod. They're actually quite nice miniatures in the actual game. And I'm going to place my walls here and here. This is going to help protect my town hall in the event Ryan tries to raid me. Because when he raids, he's going to have to come in on an open edge of a building. And now that the town hall is surrounded with walls and these, it's protected. To that same end, I'm going to go ahead and place my archer tower right here so that it's going to be sort of on sentry for these 2 tiles.
All right, well, I'm just going to jump in right off the bat. Since David took the defenses, I can't get any defenses this round, but I'm just going to try for a raid. So I'm going to raid it, and I'm going to do this epic raid, which instantly is going to get me either a coin or gold or a elixir. I'm going to take the gold. Now, when I raid, I get to decide who I'm going to raid with, and we both started with a barbarian and an archer. So for ease, I'm just going to bring these over here to David's area while I kind of decide what I'm going to attack. All right, so now I can decide which one I'm attacking with and where I'm attacking. You can decide the order that you attack and the tiles that you attack. Now, David did leave his elixir collector undefended, but I don't really want elixir. I want gold to buy some tiles. So I do want to attack this gold collector, but it is defended by this tower. However, if you look at the powers, the archer can attack defenses. So I'll have 2 red dice to just flat out attack that tower. So I think I'm going to start there. I'm actually going to start my raid with the archer coming in from this direction and attacking that tower.
And so before a unit gets to attack, any defenses that are adjacent to the tile that unit's on gets to have basically a defensive roll first. So I'm going to roll this die right now and got a blank. So there is a chance, though, you could roll a sword with this plus. That plus symbol means that you're not only going to get a sword, but you get to roll another die. So there would be a chance that my archer tower could have taken out the unit.
Yeah, but not in this instance, which is lucky for me because this means now my archer gets to attack the tower. And if you remember, the archer gets 2 red dice to attack with. So I'm going to roll both of these red dice and hope that I get at least 1 hit because the archer tower has 1 defense. And I did, and this is an explosion. So like David said, I would get to roll another die. It doesn't really matter in this case because it is enough to destroy the tower anyway. So let's just get rid of that. And sorry, David. That now leaves your gold collector here vulnerable for my next attack. So the archer is effectively done. They made their attack, and I will get 1 victory point for destroying the defense. And now my barbarian can come in and attack, and I'll attack this gold collector as well. The barbarian also gets 2 dice to roll, but the gold collector has 2 defense. So I'm going to have to hope for a pretty good roll here. Oh man. Okay, I couldn't have whiffed that more. But I do get the 1 point for destroying your defense. So I'll get my point, but unfortunately, that is the end of my turn. Luckily, I did the epic raid, so I at least got 1 coin out of it, but I didn't get to burn anything down.
All right, it's back to me. I don't have much in the way of gold, but I have elixir and a gem. So I could use the gem as gold if I wanted to, but I'm actually going to do something here. Since in a 2-player game, these spots are precious, I'm going to take my worker and go up here to upgrade my town hall, just to get it going, because the town hall is something you can upgrade throughout the game. And you can see here the upgrade progression. Right now I'm going to level 2, which costs 1 elixir. And doing so lets me take this cannon from that space. I'm going to go ahead and just install that immediately in where my archer tower was. And then in the TTS mod here, I'm just going to take one of these chips and place it on the town hall to signify that it's been upgraded.
All right, now I got that extra gold from the epic raid, so I will build. Now I'll note that I could have used my gem to build this gold statue last turn, but I was really hoping I'd end up with 4 to get this army camp, but it's not going to happen. So I'm just going to spend 2 to get this gold statue. Now when I place this here, I can place it wherever I want. I think I'm going to kind of put it next to the town hall just to act like a little bit of protection for the town hall. And that is going to cost me 2 of my gold.
And with my last builder action, I'm actually going to place right here and get a gold collector tile. And I'm going to place it right here next to my town hall so that it can take advantage of the cannon as well.
Yeah, you've protected both of your gold collectors from me. But you did give me the option because I was thinking about raiding, but since you put that right there by the tower, I don't want to risk it going against that cannon. So I'm just going to do this. I could use the extra gem and I'll get to be first player next round.
And those are the end of our builder action, so this is where we move on to score our village. My village has just this town hall generating points, and it scores 1 point per level. And I'm on level 2, so that's going to be 2 points.
Now my town hall is only level 1, so I only get 1 point for that, but I do have the gold statue, which gives me another point, so I also get 2.
And then we're going to add discount tokens to these items right here, these 2 units and this building. And we're going to continue playing off camera and come back and show you a round much later in the game. All right, and we are back, and it is about round 5 or 6, so we thought we'd come back and show you how things had progressed a little bit. Our villages are a little bit bigger than they once were. This is Ryan's village. Ryan, what do you have going on?
Yeah, I just took a lot of points, a lot of point tiles, not a lot of production, but I've been getting a lot of points from that gold statue, which you've tried to raid a couple times.
Yeah, and I, on the other hand, don't have a lot of points going on, although I've upgraded my town hall a couple times. It's given me some points. Plus, I have this army camp, which gives me a bonus point whenever I'm creating fire during a raid. So I have been trying to raid a little bit more than I typically do.
Yeah, well, this game does encourage that raiding. And so we're actually about halfway through the game. Right now I'm at 23 points, but we're pretty well built up. We thought this would be a good chance to show you a turn.
Yeah, as you can see here, I'm sitting at 16 points. Ryan had a big turn where you scored, what, 7 points?
Yeah, I got all those point scoring tiles.
And got up to 23 points. So I'm going to have to get in there and try to raid to take care of some of his point scoring tiles. So I'm going to jump on that epic raid spot right here. Now, do I want a coin or an elixir? I think, you know what? I'm going to take an elixir this time.
You got a lot of coins.
We've got quite a few resources going on. And I'm going to start by taking my barbarian down here against his wall statue because it's undefended. The barbarian's going to roll 2 dice, hopefully get some hits.
Dang.
That is enough.
Yep.
Because the wall statue has just a defensive 2. So that's going to let me put a fire token on that, which lets me score 2 points because I have that building that lets me get an extra point. All right, that's where the barbarian is. Now I'm going to come in with the balloon and attack the builder statue right here. But you have some defenses here, but because it's flying, the cannon can't attack, but the archer tower can.
Yeah. All right, I get 1 black die, but the balloon only has 1 health, so let's see what I can get here. Ooh.
That's enough.
Shot it out of the sky.
That's
Goodbye,
enough.
balloon.
So the balloon would normally get tilted over in a real game. We're just going to set it off to the side here. And Ryan scared me off a little bit, so I'm going to actually take my archer and I'm going to bring it down here to the elixir collector.
Oh, the undefended tile.
The undefended one. So she is going to roll a couple red die. And hopefully...
Oh, okay, 1 damage.
1 damage.
That's not bad.
So it's not enough to take out the elixir collector. So that is a raid gone wrong.
Although you did hurt me more than you think because I'm actually upgrading my town hall right now. I'm getting to the next level, which is going to cost 2 of these elixirs. And when I do that, I'm actually going to get 2 walls. And if I still had that wall statue, it would have given me an extra point. So you did eliminate a whole point for me. So I think I need to kind of watch my entrances here. So 1 over there. And I'm going to block you in the way you came right there. In addition, when you upgrade to level 3, you get 2 points. All right, so 1 and 2 for 25 points. All right, back to you, David.
Well, I feel like there is a raid incoming for sure. So I'm going to build up some defenses while I still can. In this case, I'm actually going to spend 2 gold because I've got plenty on a wizard tower, which is not the first wizard tower I've had. And I'm going to bring that right here. And then I also get 2 walls, and I think I'm going to put one of them right here just to kind of protect that all the more. And then another one right here.
Now I'm going to come in. I would love to buy this workshop, but I can't afford it. So I think it's my turn to raid, and let me show you what I've got. I've got this giant which can attack all neighboring defenses. So he attacks a bunch of defenses, but unfortunately you did close off that one area.
Yeah, but you've been using that giant the whole game practically against me.
So I brought my 3 guys over here, and I'm going to do something a little risky, which if it pays off could be really cool, because I think this archer can attack defenses. I want to attack this wall, and I just need 1 hit here to blow the wall up.
Boom.
Boom. Okay. Well, the wall's gone. That will give me a point, which I'll give myself in a second. But what it also did was open this for the giant to come in here, and he can attack all 4 adjacent defenses, but only if he survives your wizard towers. So I'm putting it in your hands. I'm having a gamble here to see if he can survive this.
So as a reminder, the wizard tower does only roll 1 black die. I've got 2, so I'm rolling 2 of those, but it has a special effect here on this face. I'm going to actually get 2 successes plus a reroll.
Which would be enough to ruin me.
All right, let's see how it goes here.
Plans be with me. Okay, so that's 2 hits.
That's 2, and then I'll roll this one.
Oh my gosh,
Whoops.
I need this to be a blank. I need this to be a blank. No, my giant is gone.
Multiple hits. The wizard towers come through.
It was a gamble, but if I could have blown up all 4 of those, that would have been a huge amount of points for me. So that was bad, but I still do have my barbarian, which I don't want to go attack those wizard towers again. I'm going to try to avoid that gold collector. I will come over here to this elixir collector though, which I know does put me in range of those cannons.
Yeah, I've built up these defenses just for this occasion. We'll see if I can defend against your barbarian.
Barbarian. 1 hit. Okay, you need. Yeah, he only has 1 health, so that's it.
Oh, that's it for the barbarian.
Yep.
What a successful!
Wow,
I liked
well done.
I liked what you were planning there by bringing the
I know,
giant
that would
in
have
there.
been cool.
But I gotta say, my wizard towers worked out.
You just made it so appealing to attack all those defenses at once. But I do still get 1 point for destroying that wall. I said I'd give it to myself later, so there we go.
I needed to stop you from scoring anyway.
You did.
So that's fine.
All right, we still have 1 worker left
I've got 1 more action. And I'm 1 shy, even with my gems, to get the Barbarian King. I'm way far away from the workshop still. I think I'm just going to... I like being first, so I'm going to take the first player and squirrel away a gem.
Well, I was going to take first player, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to go back to my collectors. I want to build this workshop, so I need a little more gold. Plus, I'm going to get some points for this. I really want that gold statue to pay off, so I'm going to drop that right there.
And then we score our villagers once again. My village only has the town hall that is worth 3 points. 1, 2, 3, catching up, but Ryan here is about to make another big jump.
So you burned my wall statue, so I don't get those points, but I do get 2 for the builder statue, 2 for my town hall being level 2, so that's 4, and then 1 for every gold collector, so 5, 6, 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm at 33. I'm only 7 points away from winning the game. So if I can even just score those buildings again next round, I'll win. So David, you know you're going to have to raid me.
Yeah, this basically makes it so that I absolutely will have to raid to keep you from scoring those 40 points, but I don't like the way it looks. And like we said, that was 2 full rounds of Clash of Clans, the epic raid. And you could see in that first round, very straightforward. As you get things going, very simple. But the gameplay itself carries over from round to round. You're doing the same sorts of things, taking the same sorts of actions, but it builds. And of course, what builds more than anything are those raids. Because as you've built out your village, in that last round, you could see how it felt differently in terms of all the different things, the defenses that you've put up,
units,
and sort of the progress that you can make trying to raid through a village.
Yeah, and you'll see that, you know, the points, you might earn a couple points in the first round, you might be earning more like 10 points in the last round. So the game definitely escalates like I think a game based on Clash of Clans should. So hopefully now you have a much better understanding of how the gameplay works, how the turn structure works, and just what the game looks like.
Yeah, and if you have any questions at all, please make them in the comments below. We'll get down there and answer whatever we can. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.